Welcome to the press conference for the 10th round of the Pro Mazda Championship presented by Kubataz. The top three finishers are right here. Third place today for Diego Ferreira, driving for Juncos Racing. And Diego, you've had a bunch of podium finishes this year. You've also had a win. That was a pretty intense race out there.
Yeah, I'm happy to be back on the podium. We had a bad race yesterday, so always it's good to be back on the podium. This is the seventh top three finish that we have this year, so stay second on the championship. It was a good race for the point because Matthew he finished. So I'm happy to have my teammate again in the podium. It was a good race. I'm happy thanks to those racing that did the best to have the good car for this race, and that's it.
How did your teammate manage to get past you at the restart?
Yeah, I made a mistake on the restart on turn 10 to just before the straightaway. So Scott passed me finish on turn 1. Then we had a really good, nice battle, but he was stronger than me, so it's okay. I was happy to finish there. That's it.
And Scott Anderson, the teammate for Diego Ferreira at Juncos Racing. You've had a couple of fourth place finishes, Scott Anderson, and finally now, not only on the podium, a second place finish. Got to feel good.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we've had, just like you said, a lot of actually fourth place finishes. I think I've had like, between fourth place finishes and qualifying, like, must have been like 10. It's like my, just keeping me from the podium. So, yeah, I mean, for sure, especially after Toronto, the two races there were probably my worst of the season. So to be able to, come out in second place, it's just awesome. The car was like best it's been all year. So obviously, both cars are on the podium, so I think yeah, we're very strong.
Good race between you two. You couldn't quite go much Shelby there in the closing stages.
Yeah, I mean, I think by the time I got around Spencer, yeah, he was just too far gone. I was pushing pretty hard, but yeah, definitely had a good pace. And yeah, with a couple to go, I just kind of said, I might have to just settle in here and try not to make any mistakes and bring home a second place.
Let's move on to our race winner today for the very first time. The Team Struck entry, Canada 28 from Ready Autosports. Shelby Blackstock, you've had 3 pole positions. You had, 4 or 5 podium finishes here. It's got to feel so good to get that first win under your belt.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's huge weight lifted off my shoulders, and definitely Matt has had his fair share of wins this season, and it's nice for me to finally bring mine in. And unfortunately, Matt had a really rough race. I'm not really sure what happened, but in the end, I'm very, very happy that we're able to finally get the Starstruck team a win, and it's a fantastic day.
You put your nose in there on Spencer Piggott, made that pass, and then got a little bit of a break. What were you thinking then when you had a little bit of a slight advantage over the rest of the field? It wasn't all that much, but did that alter your mindset?
No, I kind of, when I saw Spencer getting the marbles, I took the position, and once I went to the last corner, I saw Diego and Scott with him 3 wide, so I was like, okay, head down and dig. So I just did that, tried to make little mistakes, and just kind of made a gap.
Excellent job today. So the first win for Shelby Blackstock, second place finisher Scott Anderson, and third Diego Ferreira.
Shelby, you felt like the team getting better as the session went on. Is that something you worked on set, or is that more just getting a good rhythm?
It's just kind of really overall how our setup's really made. And like yesterday, me and Matt struggled just because there were like two lap runs, and our cars really come into the strongest on a couple laps in. So yeah, we're more set up towards the long, ready, basically run the entire race if it goes green, because I know that's the biggest problem they had last year was the tires would fall off and they'd be all over the place. So that's one thing that we've definitely focused on.
And obviously, were you keeping abreast of the guy behind you, were battling him a little, saying, run your clean lap, you'll get a gap?
When they did it on the first lap, and it's that kind of stuff. The more information I know, probably the worse I'll do. So I just said, just leave me alone.
Little teeny thing?
Yes, just leave me alone, and I'm good. and I just kind of got in a little zone area where I was just running on laps, so it was fun.
Scott, we talked briefly in Toronto. You're saying you're starting to feel more and more comfortable in the car. You showed good speed, you just didn't get the results at all. Does this sort of vindicate what you've been doing so far this season?
Yeah, I mean, like we've always, almost every weekend, shown good pace at like one point during the weekend. It's just never been good enough during the race, to run up front. So, yeah, I think we finally got it this weekend, and obviously we did. So, the car actually, I mean, the best it's been all year, I think. We're actually really close to Toronto as well, so I think we're really starting to figure things out, and I'm starting to figure things out myself too. So hopefully we can keep this up.
I think also gives you some momentum going to the Mid-Ohio. You had a great run there last year. You must be looking forward to getting back to sort of the Mid-Ohio technical type of course.
Yeah, for sure. I love that track. Probably one of my favorites. So I've always had good luck there. So really just want to keep the momentum going, I guess.
Diego, one quick one for you. Battling your teammate, does that ever go through your mind? Okay, you're one in the championship, you're fighting for a championship, you need points, but then also because it's your teammate, you're like, maybe I'll give him a little more room, or maybe I won't die following that.
Yeah, I saw him. He was coming stronger than me a little bit. I don't know. We're teammates, so we take care of each other. So it's okay. It was good. Anyways, Matthew didn't finish the race, and it was a good place to finish this race, and I just keep going and finish that place. Scott, I think he was bigger than me, stronger than me on this day, and that's it.
I asked the question, looks like there's not his line here. For all three of you, what's your hopes for next year? What do you hope to do next year?
For me, it all comes down to championship. If I go to if we win the championship, we'll probably move up to Indy Lights. If not, I'm actually looking to do this season again. If I do not win the championship, I actually started racing when I was 20 years old. I'm 23 now, so I've been racing for 3 years, and it'd just be good for me to stay in junior formula to get more experience, overall more experience. And I have an amazing teammate. His family has taught him extremely well, and that definitely shows in how many wins he's had this season. So just learn, and then we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I think the plan for me for sure is, especially since the championship's pretty much at a grasp, to do another year of this, just really get it down and go for the championship next year.
Well, it's all depends, we never can say what we're gonna do the next year, but it's depending on the result of this year. I'm fighting for the championship with Matthew. If I won the championship, I have to move up to Indy Lights. If not, this is my second year doing this category, so I feel that I'm ready to going up categories, maybe Indy Lights anyways, or if I find the sponsorship, maybe going to prototypes or sport cars. I've been talking with a lot of teams. So this year, LMS and Mazda they gonna coming together. So that's another thing that I have to think about. So for sure, stay on the American racing.
We're not clear on this. If you win the championship, you can ride it, like you get it plus.
Yeah. You get a scholarship to move up to the next
So
series.
pretty definite. Whoever wins the championship will move up.
Yeah, won the championship for sure is going up to the Indy Lights because get the scholarship from Mazda. Yeah.
And now they most of your costs.
No, 75%.
Yeah.
Thank you.